Hi guys! We're a crowd of 2 people now. Like at this stage, it's the 7th of January. There have been 2 people watching my last video. So it's safe to say I can call us a crowd. I mean, this is only my second video, so I hope you can forgive me if things are still slightly awkward. I've set myself up with a mic because I have been made aware of the fact that my sound isn't quite up to everyone else's game on YouTube. So I still had this one lying around. So I hope this makes everyone's experience a little bit better. Anyways, the reason we're here is this book. This book is the one we chose in my last video from my 2026 TBR. And if you've seen the last video, you might have noticed the slight fail as I attempted to put up an English title for this, since there isn't one. It hasn't been translated. This is a German author, and I've been reading this in German. I finished this in, well, what's the date now? It's only been a week. And yeah, I've kind of flown through it. It's been quite a nice read, but since I can't tell you much about it, well, I could tell you, but since you cannot really read this one in English, I've decided I'll read another book of this author, which is existed in English. I mean, I've also read it in German about 2 years ago now, but there's an English version. I'll put it here for you. It's called Love Virtually, and I've loved this one. This one is actually one of my few 5-star reads, and so I thought it would be a good chance to give this one a little review, and some of you might like that. To not leave this one completely unmentioned though, I'm gonna make a review in German, and I'm gonna make a separate video for this. All right. Well, the curious thing about this book is that it's entirely written as an email exchange between the 2 protagonists. There's no narration in this book. It's simply a back and forth between the 2 characters via email. And I think this is one of the things that I've loved about this, because just through the email communication, the author, Daniel Glattauer, manages to convey all of that. We do get to know the characters and the layers, and it's very interesting to see the relationship evolve throughout the email exchange. So how this whole thing starts is that Emmy, one of the protagonists, she writes an angry email. The reason she writes an angry email is, you know, those newsletters that you get in your inbox because you sign up at some point for something. Well, she wants to cancel it, and they keep ignoring her, her reaching out essentially. So she gets a bit frustrated and she types an angry email to them, and she kind of gets a bit sloppy while doing that. So she makes a little typo, and the email goes to the wrong email address, because the other protagonist's name, Leo, well, his surname is similar to the magazine's title, which is the entire reason that these 2 strangers meet, essentially. Meet virtually. But yeah, that's how their relationship develops. Well, there's no relationship to start with, right? Because they don't know each other. The way this relationship progresses and they move from strangers to, well, acquaintances, and then maybe something like friends, is fascinating. Because, well, have you ever talked to, I'm sure you've talked to a stranger before. And well, I'm a person, I do tend to overshare quite a bit, especially with strangers, which is weird, but there is like a carefreeness in sharing something with a person that you don't know anything about, that doesn't know anything about you, so there's no judgment. So since there are no strings attached in this relationship they're forming, because they don't know each other. They don't know anyone in their respective lives, because other than this incorrectly sent email, there's really nothing tying them to each other. It kind of has me in awe how people, well, I love people. I think I've mentioned that in the last video, but how through the way we communicate with each other, we can grow so close, like in a matter of moments or days. An entire relationship can change really just by the way that we communicate. It's a very intense thing, right? Especially when you're writing with someone and you're sharing so much about yourself, and not necessarily about other parts of your life, but just about the way that you think, that your mind works, your values, all of those kind of things that paint a picture about you or of you, that you expose to a stranger and they expose to you, and how that can draw you very close without actually having ever met. And I think because the connection between these two characters intensifies so much that as a reader, you're just sitting there agonizing whether they'll meet or not, because you feel that there's so much drawing these two together just by the bond that they're forming of communicating without a mask on, which we do so often in daily life. So I think that's kind of the charm of this book, really. It's because it's two people that start off at random, that don't know each other, that kind of do have a level of dislike for each other just because of the way they got to know each other, said angry email. But then, because there is no risk, right? There's no risk of ruining a relationship, that they can speak freely, they can speak openly with each other. And that's really what gets them close, because they are not afraid of judgment, because they frankly don't care what the other person thinks. Yeah, I could go on and on about this. I think this is a good read. There have been very split opinions about this online. I've seen some hate it. So I'm not sure how well the style of writing translates in English when you read it, because the thing this author does, and it's been very evident in this book as well, it's he uses a lot of puns and he uses language very well to make witty comments. His characters really kind of rely on the way he uses language, because you get to know so much about them. Leo, he has a very witty sense of humor. Clearly they're both smart. And it's very interesting to follow their banter, their thought processes. When one of them doesn't reply, you know, when you're waiting for someone's reply and it's not instant, and it's agonizing. It's the waiting, you don't know anything about them, you don't know what's happening, you can't call the other person. Like there's an added sense of mystery to this relationship that I really enjoyed. It got annoying in some parts, in the middle, I think, as well, but it really caught my attention in the beginning and the end, and I've been reading this on the train, and I read this any chance I got, and I was done very quick with it. So I think this is a great read. I would recommend this. 5 out of 5 anyways. And yeah, so maybe you'll have fun with that one. I'm excited to pick the next book on my TBR now, because I think we're at that point. What do you want to know about a book? Like, what interests you? What makes you pick a book? Is it the cover? Is it someone else's review? Is it, yeah, I'd be curious to know, like, how do you pick your books? Because if there's any part of the review that I should be emphasizing on, that helps you make a decision, let me know, because if I can add anything to your TBR, I'd be happy to do so. So if this inspires you, then yeah, I'm glad. Anyways, let's pick the new book. I've upgraded my jar for the TBR. It says made with love. Also, I stole this from my mom. If you're watching, this is what this was for. So what did I say I got it for? Doesn't matter. Now you know. We can do some ASMR, no? Do you hear that? Well, let's choose one. Oh! Yes, I'll get it. It's The Other Half of the World. Well, I think I've said this title wrong in the last video as well. What was it called in English? I'll put the title here. Oh, it was End of Men. Yes, End of Men. So we're gonna read that one. I'm gonna get it. There we are. The TBR has chosen. This is the one that we're gonna read next. End of Men. I think I mentioned it in the last video as well. About a disease that's only killing men. And it's, I guess, a societal dilemma on what's going to happen next. What the women are going to do now that the world is kind of changing. And was a huge book. I'm curious to see how long it'll take me to read that one. Also, because this is not going to be the only book I'll be reading. My book for book club has arrived. And you know the rule, if there is a book in book club, I'm gonna get that. I got this one secondhand actually, the book from book club. Book club, I'm just gonna get that as well. These are the two. And I say I exclusively read in English, and now I'm doing this. This is also available in English. It's called Mrs. Quinn's Rise to Fame, is this one called. I got this one in German because I really disliked the English cover. It was atrocious. It was so pink and, which is funny since I'm wearing pink today, but it was just so pink and cartoonish, and no, I did not want to have that on my bookshelf. So I opted for this one. Also, the other two are reading it in German as well. So yeah, I'll see how this one goes. This one only arrived today, so I'm gonna start reading parallel as of today, both of them. Well, this one, maybe, do I need to explain how the book club works?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
We have a rule not to talk about book club, so I think I already broke that one twice. Well, you know, Fight Club, so it's just being silly. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna read this one parallel to this one, so the mayhem has kind of started. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna manage. I thought I had more time. But since this arrived from the mail today, I'll be starting to read this one. How the book club works is that we'll read a certain amount of chapters in a matter of 2 weeks. If we're not so busy in our lives, we might read more than what we agreed upon earlier. We'll update the other ones and see if we all can manage. And otherwise, we'll stick to the agreed upon number of pages. Yeah, and then I can't read further in this one at some point anyway, so then I'll have to switch to this one so that I don't get bored out of my mind, because, well, I mean, what else could you be doing with your life other than reading? So, yeah, when I can't read more of this, I'll switch to this one probably. Or if either of them is really bad and I just need to catch a break, then I'll read the other one probably. So yeah, these are my 2 books for January, which makes me realize, no, it doesn't make me realize anything. I just know I need to read more. I just need to read more, which is fine. We're good with that. So 2 books. German review of Die spürst du nicht follows. See, I can get lost in German and English quite a bit. So yeah, let me know what else you wanna see. No, don't let me know because you don't know me. Yeah, so I'm planning to maybe do a review on my books of 2025 next. So, well, these 2 it is, and let's see how we get along, and I'll see you in the next one. How about that? Bye!